guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah Louise, and if you do know me, you should know my name already. So today I wanted to do a sitting down video talking to you guys about some stuff that I feel like has helped me a lot through my entire life, just some knowledge that really helped me to be who I am today and to continue to live every day like I want to and like I like to, without having to think that life is miserable, because I generally feel like there's so many people out there living thinking that life is not meant to be enjoyed and that, you know, things have to be always so hard and difficult, but it's really not like that. There is a way that you can flow through life easier and just, you know, without having to struggle so hard. Even when you're struggling, you're still not really struggling. And I'm gonna be giving you 3 tips to really take ownership over your life and always feel good about yourself, because if I can do it, then you can do it too. So my first tip is take control over your emotions. If you're letting other people control how you feel and you're constantly doing that, even if you only do it sometimes, you're letting other people take the wheel over your life and drive you to whatever they want to drive you. So if this person wants to make you angry and boom, you're angry, now they have control over you. If you let people control your emotions, then you're easily manipulated, and who would want to be easily manipulated? It's a fact that all emotions physically only last 90 seconds. So anything after that is just your brain telling you to repeat whatever happened so you can continuously feel bad about whatever happened. You can choose to change your thought patterns and just have a completely different perspective, or you can choose to dwell on whatever happened and keep feeling bad about how you felt. Like, example, your friend tells you something that you don't like, right? You can choose to feel those emotions. Obviously, I'm not saying bypass your emotions. You should feel all your emotions, but you can choose to feel them, decide how that makes you feel, decide what you're gonna do about it. Are you gonna talk to your friend about it? Are you gonna not do anything about it? And then, you know, move on. Or you can choose to think about what happened for the entire day, the rest of the day, the rest of the week. And if that's something that made you feel upset or angry, if you're constantly thinking about it, you're going to feel upset and angry for that whole time unless you change your perspective. But regardless, if you're thinking about something that made you mad or made you upset, you're probably gonna still feel upset about it. So you can decide if you want to think about it or let it go, and you can decide if you want to continuously feel bad about it or just change your perspective and feel good about it, or just don't feel any type of way. You don't have to put a label on every situation and feeling. Sometimes something just is and you just have to let that go or just let it be. One thing that really helped me when it comes to emotions is understanding that all emotions are temporary, because sometimes we're like at a really bad place and it feels like you're gonna stay there forever, but you have to realize that when you're at a really good place, you don't stay there forever either. Everything is temporary. All emotions are phases. You're never gonna feel the same exact way that you felt when something happened, when another thing happens. So all I can say about this is enjoy what you're feeling, because when you really feel what's going on, instead of bypassing it, like let's say you're going through a tough time and you're just being like, all right, like what can I do? Like, what can I do? Making the best out of your circumstances. What can I do with what's happening right now, instead of trying to escape your emotions, or instead of trying to find like external sources to make you distract yourself or forget about what's going on. When you're going through those things and you really feel what's going on, you're really aware of everything that's going on, it's easier for you to get through those emotions. And then when you have a tougher time or an easier time coming around, you can be like, whoa, I've been through this before, or I've been through worse before, and I just have to like have my head on straight so I can actually get through this again. And I say that for happy emotions too, because sometimes we're happy and we take it for granted. Like, you don't realize that emotions are temporary, and the way you're feeling a certain day, you're not gonna feel like that the next day. So when you're happy, really feel that too, and be grateful for how you're feeling. So control your emotions. Don't let anybody play with you when it comes to your emotions. And I say that because I used to be like that. I used to be like, oh, you made me feel this way, but he made me angry, or she made me sad. Like, nobody is making you feel any type of way. You have control over how you feel. So if you feel a certain way, it's because you chose to feel like that. And I used to have like I used to get angry at people when I would hear that, like, no, like, you made me cry. But no, you can choose to listen to someone. Like, if someone walks up to me right now and they're like, you're beautiful and you look great, obviously that's gonna make me feel good, but you should never depend on other people for external validation and external love. Because if somebody walks up to you and they're like, you're ugly and stupid, now your day's ruined and you're terrible. Like, no. Yes, you should always accept good compliments, of course, but you should never depend on other people to see your worth and your validation. Because if somebody's always telling you good things and then you're feeling good about yourself, but then the one day they don't tell you good things, how are you gonna feel, you know? At the end of the day, you have to set out how you want to feel, and you can't let other people decide that for you. Otherwise, like I said, they're going to be driving your life for you. So tip number 2 is to listen to your heart and follow your own gut. And when I say this, it has a really big meaning for me, because I was the type of person who I would always ask for other people's opinions. When, you know, growing up, everything I did, I'm always like, what do you think? Do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? Even when I knew what I wanted, I would still go ask other people what they think. And I'm not saying there's a problem with asking your friends for help, or, you know, asking people for opinion, and even going to therapy sometimes so you can actually have like a non-biased opinion. But when you truly know in your heart what you should do, and you're still going out your way to see what other people think that you should do, you're letting other people write your story. Like, you only have one life, and you only get to live life in this body one time. If you're doing what other people want you to do, you're letting them write your of your own path. And if you let other people write your story, you're gonna walk another person's path without even realizing it. Sometimes it's really important to stop and think, like, what do I want for myself? What do I want to do? What do I want? Like, what do I think it's better, you know? Because when you're so accustomed to following other people's, you know, decisions and opinions, you can also have something I like to call a dirty gut. Because, you know, I'm very big on following your gut. But once you have a dirty gut, which means you've been following other people's, you know, you've been doing what other people want you to do all your life, it can be hard to really follow your gut, because your gut is like this feeling you get in your stomach when you think that you should do something and when you think that you shouldn't do something, right? But sometimes, and I'm saying this from experience, sometimes when you're so used to following and doing what other people think that you should do, you might not really have the right gut feeling. Like, I've had times when I knew what was best for me, but the people around me were telling me to do something else. So what I knew was best for me felt that it was wrong because of what they were telling me. You have to be aware of your dirty gut. But the good thing is, your heart is always clean. That's why I say listen to your heart and follow your gut, because if you really want to do something and your gut is kind of messed up, you don't know if you should do the right thing or the wrong thing, listen to your heart, because your heart knows, like, deep down. I don't care if this is just like a metaphor. Your heart knows. Like, if you have like a big decision coming up or something that you've been dwelling on, just close your eyes and ask and see how you're gonna feel like in your heart. Like, I kid you not, this is real science. Your heart can tell you how, your heart can help you make decisions. Like, if I close my eyes right now and I'm like, should I drop out of school? Like, obviously that's not gonna feel good for me because I want to get my diploma, you know? So it's just like, that was just an example, but your heart knows. The more you listen to your heart, the easier it'll be to follow your gut. So stop listening to what other people want for you, because some people don't even know what they want for themselves. How are you gonna let somebody who doesn't know what they want for themselves decide what they want for you? At the end of the day, your life path is unique. You are unique. You can only do what you truly want if you follow what you think is best for you. Like I said, obviously you can ask for opinions, but the thing is, most people already know what they want and they're just not confident in themselves enough to take action and do what they want. I heard this thing, it was like, advice is something you ask when you already know what you want to do. So, and that I even do that too. Like sometimes, like my sister will get mad at me because she's like, why do you ask for opinions if you're gonna do what you want to do anyway? It's like sometimes I just want to see what you think, but I still have my opinion, which is what I think and which is probably what is best for me. But like I said, sometimes you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough wisdom on something, so you should listen to other people's advice, but don't ever do something just because this person said you should do it. Talk to your heart, check in with your gut, and then decide what you really want to do. Brings me to tip number 3. Decide what you want and do what you said you were gonna do. So when I say this, I kind of mean it in a way of like, a lot of people are unhappy with their life circumstances and they don't do anything about it because they think that it's impossible or they think that it's too late. You have to decide what you want. Like, example, if you want a healthier body, a better looking body, right? But your excuse is that you're too old, too tired, too busy, work too much, too sick, or I don't know. There's always a way. If you decide that you're too sick, then you're too sick. If you decide that you're too tired, then you're too tired. If you actually want a better body, you're gonna find a way to get it. Whether that's by working out, eating healthier, or even praying for a better body. Because if you believe in praying, you know that you can pray for anything. So you can literally ask God, please help me lose weight, God. I don't know about y'all, but I pray about everything, even if it's just a math test to like a disease. I will pray about anything and everything. And if you genuinely feel like there's no other way to do something, pray about it. But the thing is, there usually is. Like, God can only do so much and God can do a lot. But if you're not doing anything and if you're deciding that your circumstances are too hard to, you know, play with, to move around, then that's what you're telling God. If you're telling God, I'm too tired to have a better body, he's gonna be like, true, you are. You know, like, you have to decide. Maybe you have to wake up an hour earlier or go to bed an hour later, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be doing what you want to get what you want, right? And I said decide what you want and do what you said you're gonna do, because a lot of times people want things, but they don't want it hard enough to actually take the steps to do it and then to get to where they want to be. So if it's a better body that you want, and that was just an example because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. But if it's a better body, or if you want to be a better communicator or a better reader, I don't know, whatever it is, there's always a way. And if your problem is something more of like emotional, like you want to be calmer, there's always something you can do about it. And if you're not doing anything about it, you just don't want it hard enough. So decide what you want. Everything and anything could be changed. That's how I look at it. And if you can't change it in the physical, you can change your perspective. So everything is changeable. Now, if there's this one thing that's not changeable at all, you're just like, Sarah, there's one thing, I can't change this. Like, there's no way, I have to live with it, right? Like, well, I guess you have to live with it, then just accept it. Once you accept things, it changes automatically, because it's not like you have to deal with it now. It's more of like, it's already there and you can do this. Because I mean, if you can't change it, then what can you do? You can either live your whole life complaining about it, or you can accept it and work with your circumstances. That's like my main thing, working with your circumstances, because you're already here, you're already going through it. What are you supposed to do? My thing is, you can really have anything you want if you don't put any limitations on yourself. If you're like, I can do this, decide what you want, write down the steps you have to take, and actually start taking those steps, you can get to whatever you want to be. And when you take limitations off the picture, then you can see how powerful you really are, because think about everybody doing it big. Like, those people have nothing that you don't have. They are humans the same way as you are, and maybe they have a little more money or a little more wisdom, but there's nothing they have that you can't have. If you don't have it yet, it's because you decided that you don't want it, or you can't have it. You decide what you want. So just make sure you stand on that. When you understand that your emotions are simply temporary and that you don't have to act based upon all emotions you feel, and that you're not gonna feel that way forever, you can really follow through life easier and just have a much outgoing and like a worthy living life, because you're not constantly feeling a type of way or letting other people control how you feel. And when you listen to your heart and follow your gut, you should always feel good about your decisions. Like, this is one thing that I like to say, that I live with no regrets, and I've lived my whole life with no regrets, because when I was little, I heard someone say, regret is the worst feeling you can have because there's no going back, right? And that really stuck with me, because I'm like, well, I want to make sure that I'm very aware of my decisions, and I'm very aware of what I want and what I don't want. And sometimes, even like right now, if I look back like 6 months ago and I'm like, should I really have done that? You know, for me, it's easier to be like, yes, I should have, because at that point in time, even if right now my decision wasn't the best thing that I did right now, at that time, I did what I felt was best for me. And at the end of the day, I love who I am now, and I love where my life is going now. So whatever happened, it was the right choice, and everything happens for a reason. So just be aware of your decisions, and when you follow your gut, you have no one else to blame but you. So make sure you're not listening to other people and being like, well, this person told me I should have done that, because they're not making you do anything. You're just not having your own mind to do it yourself. Last thing, when you decide what you want and you're going for it, it's easier to wake up and know that your life is worth living. It's like you feel like you've took ownership for your life, because nobody else can control your emotions but you, right? You're following your gut by doing what's best for you, and you're taking the steps to get to where you want to be. So it's just like, what are you gonna feel bad about? You know, like at the end of the day, you might not be exactly where you want to be, but who is? You know, like nobody is really where they want to be ever, I guess. And that's the problem with humanity, but I guess I can talk about that another time. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe, and bye. I'll see you in my next one.